Namaste and a very warm welcome to all of you in this daily live meditation session with me, Dhyanse. We're going through Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, 196 sutras, all filled with knowledge. But this knowledge remains just knowledge and does not become your wisdom unless you meditate upon them, unless you unfold these sutras and see their functioning in your own life. So take this opportunity while we go through these 196 sutras to have this each sutra open up something in you which was stuck, which was yet virgin, which was yet to be unfolded, and let this opportunity become the chance of your growth, the growth of your consciousness, the growth of your mind, the growth of your being to live in a peace, to live the bliss, to live the consciousness that you're supposed to live and not what right now we are living, all the miseries that we are facing, all the miseries that we are creating for ourselves and for others. Currently, we are trying to go into the understanding of what is ego. Patanjali, in the sutras that we brought in yesterday, he said, egoism is the identification of the seer to the instrument of seeing. In this one small, clear sutra, he said many things. And yesterday we spent time to understand what is the instrument of seeing and what is the seer. Now I would like to take that moment once again, take it from this understanding of what is the instrument of seeing, what is the seer, to the relationship of these two, which is the identification and why this identification happens. And as Patanjali calls this identification as ego, can we see this in our own life? Can we validate this, that yes, this is exactly how it happens for us as well? So once again, what is the instrument of seeing? All your five senses, your body, your mind, everything that gives you the experience, that brings the perception in, that brings the sensation in, that brings the outside to the inside. The seer is some undefined, some unknown inside that experiences that experiences what the body brings, what the mind brings, what the five senses as an input bring, and then the mind processes, and then the seer is what sees it. Now Patanjali says that egoism is the identification of the seer with the object, with the instrument of seeing. This seer, if you look at animals have consciousness. They are conscious, but they are not conscious of the fact that they are conscious. So you have to see that human beings and animals, the clear difference between animal and human is that animal does not know that it exists. Human knows that it exists. So the seer somewhat knows that it is there. But the seer never really pays attention to itself. Everything is designed in our life, in the activities that we do, in the experiences that we make, that the seer is always looking at the instrument of seeing, waiting for the instrument of seeing to bring the experiences. It never pays attention to itself, what it is. And in this process, in this continuous process of only looking at the instrument of seeing, only waiting for the instrument of seeing, the body and the mind to bring experiences, to bring that aliveness that make the seer feel alive again, is identification, is arising of identification. Then by and by the slower thinks, the seer thinks, the seer assumes that it is the instrument of seeing. It forgets that it exists as something separate from the instrument of seeing as well. And this identification, this I am my name, I am my body, I am my mind, I am my senses, I am this, I am that. All this identification happens because the seer never pays attention to itself. And that rises ego, what we call as ego, and this identification is the reason, is the root cause of our miseries that we are experiencing in life. Because when the instrument of seeing is not bringing what we want it to bring, then starts the trouble. What is the solution? The seer must know itself. The seer must reflect on itself to see, to understand, to become wise, to realize that seer is different from the instrument of seeing, and all that experiences that are created by the instrument of seeing are different from the seer. It is like going in front of the mirror and looking at yourself for the very first time. When meditation allows this state where the instrument of seeing is not coming in the way, and the seer can confront itself, the seer can see itself, slowly the identification is becoming weaker and is completely gone, and the seer remains as the one who is experiencing in knowledge of oneself, in wisdom of oneself. So in today's meditation, we will focus on the seer. We will not focus on the instrument of seeing. We will not focus on the body. We will not focus on the mind. We will focus on that inside us, which is seeing, which is experiencing, the seer itself. And from there on, feel this relationship between the seer and the instrument of seeing, so that we are the masters of that, so that we are in control of this process of identification. A couple of more sutras related to the root causes of misery, where Patanjali says, attachment is which dwells on pleasure, and pain, aversion is that which dwells on pain. So he's talking about attachment and aversion, which are also the root causes of misery. And he says attachment is that which dwells on pleasure. Aversion is that which dwells on pain. Once again, what is pain and what is pleasure? These are what the senses bring to you, the instrument of seeing that brings to you. So attachment is something which keeps on building on top of when you are constantly wanting pleasure, when the stimulus of pleasure becomes the only source of you expecting life from outside to enter into you, you being ignorant of the seer, you being ignorant of the true nature of seer, which is bliss itself, then this attachment, it becomes misery. And the same instrument of seeing, the senses, when they bring pain and this aversion starts building up, to avoid that pain, we continue in our life to do all the efforts to avoid the pain, to avoid this aversion that we have built for ourselves, which becomes the cause of the misery, which becomes the source of the misery. And constantly in our life, not only we are trying to not have the pain, but this aversion itself becomes the source of the misery. It becomes the pain itself. And the solution, once again, know the seer, know yourself, see that you're not the instrument of seeing, see that you're not the body, you're not the mind, you are the consciousness that is experiencing the body, that is experiencing the mind. Let us bring this sutra into our realization. Let's unfold the wisdom of this sutra in our own silence. With that, please close your eyes. Allowing yourself to come in this moment. Your body to find a posture in which it can settle. And with every breath, your mind to become calmer. Shift your awareness inwards, and for the next minutes, observe the seer, the one who's experiencing not the body, not the mind, not the instrument of seeing. With every breath, let go of your body. Let go of your mind and your awareness and attention on the seer, on that which is experiencing, which is observing, which is watching. awareness from all directions, pointing at the Seer. The Seer is not the body. Don't try to look for the Seer in the body. The Seer is not the mind. Don't try to look for the Seer in your mind. Away from the body, away from the mind. Become aware of the Seer. You don't have to look far. The Seer is right here. Let all your attention stabilize, settle on the Seer, and everything else disappear in the background. The Seer has no name, no shape, no form. yet it exists, yet it is there, yet it is real. Remain aware of the seer. The awareness arising from the seer and reflecting back on the seer. Only the awareness reflecting on itself remains. Let go of all effort. Move into silence. The awareness is here. effortlessly. Remain silent and aware. Take these moments to acknowledge yourself as the seer, your body, your mind as the instrument of seeing. And the clear distinction If you wish to continue in this silence, keep your eyes closed. Let yourself go in the silent awareness. Or very gently and slowly, you may open your eyes. Maintaining the stillness, the silence and awareness, and taking this to your daily life. I will see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central European Time. Namaste.